Welcome students. In this video lecture, we are going to see that how we can make use of the graphs to do the comparison between the two variables, and the particular type of research design that we are using is the repeated measures design, and we'll see that how the graphs can help us to do this comparison in this particular design. Now, there's very important point over here. We know that repeated measures design are considered to be better research designs as compared to the between groups design. And the reason is this, that in a repeated measure design, we can uh, we can remove the the particular unsystematic errors that are present when we are doing the research, which is impossible to do so in a between groups design. And therefore the graphical method of making the graphs is also a little bit different, and that's what we want to learn over here in this video. So let's start with the graphs. At first we will make the graphs in a very similar fashion as we did for the between groups design. So we go to the graphs, and the graphs in the legacy dialogues we go to the error bars, and we select simple and summaries of separate variables, which we always do when we are working in a repeated measure design. So continue over here, and we have this data set. Sorry, I had to first introduce you with the data set. We have this data set which basically consists of two variables, T1 and T2. Hypothetical data set it is, and we're just doing the comparison between T1 and T2. They could be just anything. Over here, we have taken T1 as treatment 1 and T2 as treatment 2. So we select both of them and put them in the error bars column, and then press the OK button. We obtain this error graph. Okay, you cannot see this window because I need to toggle the share. So now I've okay, now you can see the output window. So we have obtained this error bar, and we can see that there is slight overlapping over here. We can see there is slight overlapping over here. If you want to see the mean values, so we can double click on it, and I will share this chart editor now. So this is the chart editor, and then we click on this show data labels, and we can get the mean values easily. So close this one, and I again share the output window with you people. So this is the output that we have obtained. This is the usual way we make the error bars, as we did for the between groups design as well. But the thing is that in a repeated measure design, we applied two treatments on the same person, for example, as in this case over here. So definitely there is unsystematic error present, and we can see the existence of unsystematic error by taking the means of the two variables T1 and T2. And if the means are found to be same, then it means that the unsystematic error is removed, and if they are different, then it means that there is existence of unsystematic error. So let's see how this is done. We go to the back to our data editor, and I again share this data editor with you people. So this was our file, and we go to transform and then compute variable, and we take the mean of our two variables that we have got, and we remove all the previous things that we had been doing. So mean of the two variables that we have got, so it's mean of t1 comma t2, or you can just use this arrow button to do this thing. So I have to do it because otherwise we can have some errors. So t1 is moved over here, then there's a comma, it's a syntax for finding the mean, and there's t2, and then we click the OK button, and let me move back to the data editor window, and we can see that the means are different, which indicates that there is existence of unsystematic error, and this can be easily removed in a repeated measure design, as we can see this in this particular example. So what we are going to do is this: we'll first find the grand mean, and the grand mean is easily taken out by taking the mean of the means. So we get the mean over here, and the options such as the mean, that's okay for us. And I share again with you the output window, and the grand mean comes out to be 10.7667. This is the grand mean. So now this is the important point from here, that how we are going to remove this unsystematic error in a RM or a repeated measure design. So we go back to our data editor and I share this data editor again with you people. And now we are going to again using the transform tab, we go to compute variable, and we know that 10.7667 is our grand mean. So now we are going to make an adjustment factor, and what we're going to do with this adjustment factor is this: we are going to see that how much the mean of each pair of individuals is different from the grand mean. So what we are going to do is we are going to subtract every mean from the grand mean that we have just calculated, which was 10.7667. So 10.7667 minus mean gives us this value, and we go back to the data editor, and this is the adjustment factor that we have seen. So this adjustment factor is now going to be added in T1 and T2, and this would basically bring T1 and T2 to such values that the unsystematic error will be removed, and see how this is done. So we go back to the transform compute, and we now calculate new T1 and new T2 as our two variables, new T1, and we find this new T1 by doing this adjustment plus T1, that was the old T1 value, and then we find this new T2 the same way that we found the new T1. So new T2 is adjustment plus the old T2, which is just T2 over here, and we can see now we have got new T1s and new T2 values, and if let's confirm that whether the unsystematic error is removed or not, we go to the transform compute, and just like we found the new T1 and T2, we now find the new mean. The new mean is basically the mean of the new T1 and T2 values. So sorry, we use the mean command, and so new T1 comma, and then we have this new T2, and let's find the means. So you can see that the means are the same now, which means that the only difference that we can see among the pairs of different individuals is only because of the treatments that we have used. Their unsystematic error is removed totally. So let's make the graphs again. Legacy dialogues, error bars, and we go to the simple and summaries, and then instead of old T1 and T2, we will use the new T1 and T2, and go OK. And here it is. You can see. Okay, sorry, I need to toggle the output screen for you people so you can see. So you can see that the bars are now much separated from each other as compared to the bars that we obtained earlier. Which basically means that now the unsystematic error is removed, and since there's no overlapping, so there are two different treatments. There is difference present between the two variables. So, well, I hope this was understandable to you people. It was a useful video for you to see that how we can make the error bar graphs to compare the means in a repeated measure design. If you have any queries, you can write down in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thank you.